Sagittarius, this is your astrology forecast for March 2016. Thanks for joining me. It's really nice to be with you today. There are two eclipses going on in March, so it's going to be an interesting month. The first thing that affects you really is that Saturn is and still is in Sagittarius in your sign in your first house, and that starts to form a square with the Sun in the fourth house until the 12th of March. So you'll notice this kind of friction, this energy for the first pretty much 2 weeks of the month. And this Sagittarius in your first gives you a sense of self-scrutiny, but also kind of a sense of security and ease within yourself. The Sun in the fourth really focuses you very much on other people. So there's a conflict involved here. It's do I continue to determine what my own path is and spend time kind of self-developing, or am I going to focus on family and taking care of people and really being nurturing and loving and open? And I really get that you make the most progress by focusing on others during this period, by making yourself available to experience and to love. That's really going to serve you very well. On the 2nd of March, another long-term kind of aspect pattern forms, and that's a T-square. It connects that Saturn and Sun, but it also brings in Jupiter, and it creates this triangle of motivation and friction here. What this does is, ironically, is the more you take care of people, especially those near and dear to you, the more things will take care of themselves in your working life. I know that sounds like magical thinking, but the less kind of explicit focus you put on your work, the more focus you put on other people, the more success you're going to have at work. So it's a gentle, light touch that really allows you to succeed. On the 3rd of March, a yacht appears in your chart, and this connects your Venus and your Uranus and your Jupiter. Now, the way you communicate on this day is exceptionally positive. It is constructive, people appreciate it, and it moves things forward, and it has a positive impact in your work. Okay, so whether this is a relative or a friend who actually puts in a good word for you at work and helps you out, or whether it is something that you present at work and you do it in a really personable, loving way, either scenario, this is an excellent day for you career-wise. People respect you, people like you, and it will lead to bigger and better things. So it's an important day for you to show up for work. Let's see. 3rd of March, it's a Thursday. Okay, so if you're working, that's very positive. If you're retired, very positive day in terms of think with love, express yourself with love, and you will get a positive outcome. On the 5th, Mercury is the planet of communication, and that moves into Pisces in your 4th house. Now, you've got a lot going on here, Sagittarius, in your 4th house. You've got Mercury in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, your midheaven in Pisces, Sun in Pisces, and Chiron in Pisces, all in your 4th house of family. So that's going to be your primary focus for the duration of the month. That is very rewarding, very fulfilling, and the more time you can spend with your loved ones, the better. That's an area of your life that really gets 10 out of 10 here in March, and that's an area you really enjoy. Mercury in Pisces as well, your communication becomes much more gentle, much more focused on the other person, very empathetic, very considerate. It's a very nice time for you to spend with other people. On the 6th of March, Mars goes from Scorpio into Sagittarius, your sign, and that's really positive. Obviously, Mars rules Aries, a fire sign. You're a fire sign, so Mars feels very comfortable, and Mars now gives you that boost, that oomph, that self-belief, that energy, that ability to really move things forward, to reach much further, and to really expand your life. You can do that in any way. You can do that by educating yourself, traveling, meeting new people, but your scope really broadens and you feel much more able to make changes to your life. More self-empowered. The moon begins to sextile the the Ascendant, not the Moon, I'm sorry, Jupiter begins to sextile the Ascendant, and Jupiter is in your 10th house. Now, I want to just emphasize that Jupiter is the lucky planet of success and good fortune, and that's going to be sitting in your 10th house of career all month. So, you've got a double blessing here because career kind of takes care of itself. You don't really need to do much with it, and you really just dive into the positive depths of your family life, of your emotional life, and you don't need to even put that much focus or effort onto your work. Now, when it sextiles this rising sign in Cancer in the 8th, it means that people at work just naturally like you and want you to succeed and want you to progress. So you've got everyone's support. People love you, people want you to do well, and things, I mean, when that's the case, things usually go quite well. On the 9th of March, the new moon happens. This is when the new moon goes, when the moon goes dark and it pulls new energy in, and it's a new moon in Pisces. Now, this pulls this Piscean energy into your 4th house of family, making you very giving, very loving, very considerate. But it's not just a new moon, it's also a total solar eclipse on the south node, okay? And a solar eclipse interrupts that energy because it cuts it off for a while. And then the south node part is about letting go, releasing energy. To complicate it even more, you've got Chiron sitting in the middle of that new moon, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is an opportunity for you to once and for all let go of family stuff, things that have been painful in your family. And you can replace them by things that are better. So for instance, if your current family life, you know, every other day you sit outside on the terrace and you have a beautiful family meal and you're all laughing and throwing your heads back and there's kids running around and everything's joyous, then that certainly outweighs, you know, when your dad smacked you when you were 5 for eating all the chocolate cake, for instance, you know. So this is really a period where it's important for you to focus on the good stuff that you've got in that aspect of your life and to allow that to outweigh the negatives and to allow that to say, I'm not going to hang on to that, I'm going to replace it with happy memories. Because it's so easy, and believe me, it's like when I do meditation, what comes up for me and what I declutter from my brain are the negative events that have happened over the last day or two that I don't really even acknowledge, that I didn't think were a problem. But then when I do the meditation, it's almost like a filtration system, and they come up again. And they're like these little bubbles that just pop, and I can just let them go. And by the end of the meditation, I feel much lighter. And those little bubbles, you know, you put thousands and hundreds and thousands of them on there, and you start to feel blocked off. So this is the kind of thing where you have the opportunity to let go of any pain that you're maintaining. On the 10th of March, the moon then moves out of the 4th house into the 5th house in Aries. And now the focus shifts. And the focus shifts to becoming very proactive when it comes to love and romance. So the 10th and 11th are the best days for you in that sense. The 11th as well, because the moon conjuncts Uranus, which is in Aries in that 5th house. So you're really going to, if you are single, you're really going to have the desire, the need to find a compatible partner. And for you to do this on the 10th and 11th are the best days so far of the month to pursue those kind of relationships. You're also, because Uranus is the eccentric, he's the maverick, it's a good sign that you can be yourself and that you can be successful and that you don't have to put on some facade. Because there's no point, I mean, I never get that with people who go on dates and put on this facade, because you're defeating the purpose. The purpose of the date is to really be yourself so that you can see if that other person is compatible. Sooner or later, the facade's going to come down. So why put yourself through that? You know? I never get that. People pretend to be one thing and then are another. And then after 3 or 4 dates, when you get to know each other anyway, that illusion pops. So it's safe to be yourself. It's safe to meet other people and to present yourself openly and honestly, and that is very positive for you. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, goes into Pisces on the 12th of March, and that joins your 4th house of family. So it could even be that family relationships are so good that you're looking to start your own family, that you want to recreate that for yourself, or that you want to just spread the love. You know, you feel so, like your heart is so open, like you have so much love to give. You want to find someone who you can do that with. This is also a very good time if you're in a relationship already to really commit, to take it to the next level, to say, listen, you are an important part of my life. We are family. I want us to make this more serious. You know, let's get married or let's move in together. But it's a wonderful time for you to really take ownership of your emotions. On the 13th of March, the moon starts to trine Jupiter and the North Node in your 10th house. So this is a very, very positive day for you when it comes to your money. You know what I said earlier about focus on family and the work will take care of itself? Well, on the 13th you'll get some positive financial news. Whether that's more money on a day-to-day basis, or a lump sum, or a new opportunity, a positive event will happen. On the 15th, now again, this is very changeable and things are like up and down here in this month, and that's what happens with these solar eclipses. It changes things quite drastically, but this month in general is full of different energies, so be ready to kind of stay on your toes here a little bit. Excuse me. Especially on the 15th, a Grand Cross occurs, and the Grand Cross is when you're pushed and pulled in lots of different directions. It's your Saturn in your 1st, your Jupiter in your 10th, your Moon in your 7th, and all of that energy that you've got in your 4th. So you're going to feel the need to connect with family, but also to make business relationships more positive. You're going to feel self-critical at the same time on this day, and also enjoy career success. Now, there are only 24 hours in a day. You can't do everything at once. I personally would take this day to just, I mean, you can operate in any area, but the key thing is to lay off the self-criticism, to be really kind to yourself, and it's a good day to build the relationship with yourself, if anything. Pick up the positive affirmations, do something nice for yourself, give yourself a present, do something really positive, and it'll really have a nice, good impact on you. On the 17th, there's a triangle of friction that is 2 sesqui squares and a square, and it connects your Mars, your Venus, and it finishes the triangle with the Moon and the rising sign in Cancer here in your 8th house. Mars is now in your 1st house of self. You feel a sense of self-confidence, self-reliance, the ability to make things happen, to do things. Venus in Pisces, very much to do with your family, loving your family, and then that Moon, I think you're going to feel in the perfect position to be of service to a family member, to heal them, to do something kind for them, to take care of them. So, you know, you can stay home and cook everyone a meal and nurture them that way, or if you're a Reiki healer or pranic healer, you can put your hands on one of your family members. But it's a very domestic vibration where it's important to reach out to the ones you love and to spend time with them and to take care of them in some way. And that's going to really benefit you. On the 18th, the Moon goes into Leo, and that's in your 9th house. So again, totally different, totally random. Over the 18th, 19th and 20th, you're going to have a massive desire to go traveling. Go away for the weekend to discover something new. Let's have a look at what those days are. 18th of March, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 18th, 19th, 20th is Friday, Saturday. So go away for the weekend. You'll feel like a star. Give yourself the luxury treatment. Maybe this is the nice thing you should be doing for yourself. But you will get so much out of it. You will feel joyous. You will feel happy. You'll feel like life is worth living. It'll be one of those magical, glorious weekends. Take someone with you. I watched a program recently on Netflix called Master of None. It's this guy, and one of the episodes was called, it's like a sitcom, I think. And one of the episodes was him going on a date, on a first date, and they live in New York, and he takes his first date on a day out to Dallas. in Texas, just like that. And I think they had a great time, I can't remember. I mean, obviously that's quite an extreme idea. Do that if you're very confident. If you've known each other for a little bit, maybe plan a weekend away. Even if you're by yourself, you don't have to have someone else here. Just doing something, exploring something new will give you a huge boost, a huge lift, huge sense of joy and fun. Schedule in that weekend. Now, on the 19th, a grand trine appears in fire, which is just saying that that sense of enthusiasm and joy is heightened around the 19th. And it's the best day of the month so far, just to let your hair down and to have fun. Go to a concert, on a weekend away, anything like that. On the 20th, the moon starts to quincunx your sun and your Mercury. Now, your Mercury is still in Pisces in your 4th house of family, so you're very concerned with communicating with family members in a loving way. However, that is now complicated by your desire to move forward with your own romantic relationships, and that moon here on top of your chart in the 9th, there's a real strong focus, and there's a real strong possibility for you to have one of the best weekends of your life going somewhere, so I would urge you to make the most of that. On the 22nd, Mercury goes into Aries. That happens in your 5th house, so now we're gradually shifting as the month progresses. We're shifting away from family considerations and family being the priority, and we're moving towards romantic relationships and having fun and really kind of awakening and enjoying life. The full moon occurs on the 23rd in Libra, and the full moon is a coming to fruition of energy. That full moon happens in your 11th house, and it showers you with that Libra energy. And I personally feel like you're going to feel very, very good about your relationships. You're going to see a lot of potential and very passionate about what's to come in future. So I get the sense there's someone new in your life who you really see a lot of potential with. But it's not just a full moon, it's a lunar eclipse on the North Node. So the lunar eclipse interrupts that full moon. And because it's on the North Node, it pulls more Libra energy in. So Libra is about socializing, it's about harmony, it's about balance, it's about harmonious, positive relationships. So it's like a super full Libra energy in your 11th house of hopes and dreams being realized, especially when it comes to your relationships with family and your romantic relationships. So you benefit in both of those areas this month. So you're very, very blessed by having the people in your life that are in your life at the moment. On the 24th, another T-square occurs, and this creates friction between your romantic desires and what's actually going on, and work. So this is another day of turmoil. Do I go to work? Do I focus on the practical, or do I focus on my feelings? The way out here is to focus on your feelings. I think the way forward all month is to focus on your feelings and focus on your relationships. On the 26th here, we've got the moon going into Scorpio. That happens in your 12th house. So spirituality will seem somewhat abstract and hidden from you at the moment. It trines Neptune, which is in your 4th. So you don't really have a sense of spirituality as something explicit, as something unusual that you have to strive towards. You will naturally feel it when you connect with other people, with family members, and you'll feel at peace, and you'll feel like that's a meditation in itself. So I wouldn't suggest that you have to do a lot of spiritual work and read every self-help book under the sun. I think all you need to do is connect with your heart open, and that gives you a huge sense of meaning and purpose. Another grand trine also occurs on this day, the 26th, and it stays there for 5 days until the 31st of March. This is an area of real passion and excitement and enthusiasm, unsurprisingly, when it comes to your love life. So the end of the month finishes off with what has been given you so far, already highlights in terms of romance and love, and the March month finishes now with 5 days of passion and joy and bliss when it comes to romantic connections. Doesn't get much better than that. And then the 31st, we've got Pluto and the Moon conjoining in your second house of money. So the focus really shifts now. I mean, there was an inkling of that before, that money and career is kind of starting to pull your attention. But now at the end of the month, moving into April, you leave behind a lot of these kind of romantic notions and things, and you start focusing for the next couple of days anyway on career and money and income. So it looks like a beautiful month for you. If you've got any questions about your love life or finance or romance or family or career or anything like that, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab. You can order your reading there. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and I will be with you next month for the Sagittarius forecast. I'm also here on the YouTube channel daily for the daily tarot readings, so have a look at those if you're not familiar with them. Have an amazing March, and I'll speak to you soon.